Greetings everyone. Welcome to the Reliable Prepper channel. We're all about sharing insights, tips, and strategies that help you prepare for any eventuality. Today, we're diving into a topic that seasoned preppers will find particularly interesting: mastering redundancy planning. Redundancy planning, for those who might be new to the term, is all about having multiple backup systems in place. It's like carrying a spare tire in your car. You hope you never have to use it, but it's there just in case. In the world of prepping, redundancy is not just about having a plan B, it's about having a plan C, D, E, and so on. It means ensuring that you have enough backup for your critical resources, so you're never caught off guard. In our exploration of advanced redundancy planning, we'll be covering a variety of resources, everything from food and water to energy supplies. Each resource comes with its own challenges and considerations, and we'll be addressing them in turn. So stick around as we delve into the world of advanced redundancy planning. We promise it's going to be an enlightening journey into the heart of preparedness. First off, let's talk about food redundancy. It's not just about stockpiling a mountain of canned beans and calling it a day. No, it's about diversifying your food types and ensuring that you have a balance of proteins, carbs, fats, and vitamins. Think of your food stockpile as an investment portfolio. You wouldn't put all your money in one stock, would you? The same principle applies here. A healthy mix of canned goods, freeze-dried meals, and meals ready to eat, or MREs, can give you a robust food supply that can withstand a variety of situations. Now, just having a diversified stockpile is not enough. You also need to keep your stock fresh. This is where the concept of rotating stock comes in. It's a simple yet effective strategy. You consume the oldest items in your stockpile first and replace them with new ones. This way, your food supply remains fresh and you avoid wastage. But let's take this a step further. How about adding a touch of self-sustainability to your food redundancy plan? This is where advanced food preservation techniques come into play. We're talking about canning, dehydrating, fermenting, and smoking. Each of these methods has its benefits. Canning, for example, can preserve fruits, vegetables, and meats for years. Dehydrating is great for making lightweight, space-saving food items like jerky. Fermenting not only preserves food, but also enhances its nutritional value and taste. And smoking, well, who doesn't love the smoky flavor of preserved meats? These methods complement each other and provide you with a wide range of preserved foods that can last for months, if not years, without refrigeration. But wait, there's more. Have you considered growing your own food? Gardening can be a rewarding and practical skill for any prepper. From fresh vegetables to herbs, having a garden can provide an additional layer of food security. And for those of you who have the space and resources, raising small livestock like chickens and rabbits can be a game changer. Chickens can provide you with a steady supply of eggs, and rabbits are a great source of lean protein. Remember, the goal here is not to become a farmer overnight, but to have multiple layers of food redundancy. Every additional layer adds to your food security and reduces your dependence on external sources. So let's recap. Diversify your food types, rotate your stock, learn advanced food preservation techniques, and consider growing your own food. These steps can help you build a comprehensive food redundancy plan that can sustain you and your family in times of crisis. Remember, with food, diversity and preservation are key. Now let's move on to our next topic: water redundancy. Moving on, let's discuss water redundancy. Now folks, water is one of the most vital resources we need to survive. It's essential to have a plan for storing, harvesting, and purifying it in multiple ways. First up, let's talk about storage. Storing large quantities of water might seem like a daunting task, but it's actually pretty straightforward. There are various containers available, like barrels or tanks, that can hold enough water to keep you hydrated for a good while. The key here is to rotate your stored water regularly to keep it fresh and safe to drink. Just like you wouldn't want to eat expired canned goods, you don't want to drink stale water. Keep it clean, folks. That's rule number one. Harvesting water is another critical aspect of water redundancy. Mother Nature provides us with plenty of water in the form of rain, and with the right setup, you can take full advantage of this. Simple things like gutters and barrels can be used to collect rainwater. Filtration systems are also a great addition to ensure the harvested water is free from debris and safe for use. Now, if you're thinking about going off-grid, setting up a well could be a game changer. It's a reliable source of water that's not dependent on the weather or the grid. But remember, digging a well is a significant project that requires planning and resources, so do your homework before you start digging. Now let's talk about water purification. Even if you've got a mountain of water stored, it's not going to do you much good if it's not safe to drink. There are multiple ways to purify water, and you'll want to have at least a couple of these methods in your redundancy plan. Boiling is the old faithful. It's simple, effective, and doesn't require any special equipment. Just heat your water until it's boiling, let it boil for a minute or two, and voila, you've got safe drinking water. Chemical treatments are another option. They're lightweight, easy to use, and have a long shelf life. But remember, they can leave a bit of a taste, and they're not always effective against all types of contaminants. UV purifiers are a more high-tech option. These devices use ultraviolet light to kill bacteria and viruses in the water. They're quick and easy to use, but they do require batteries, so keep that in mind. Finally, filtration systems are a reliable and effective way to purify water. They can remove bacteria, viruses, and even some chemicals from your water. There are many types of filters out there, from small portable ones to larger systems for home use. Water is life, so ensure you have multiple sources and ways to purify it. Remember, redundancy is about having backups for your backups. In a survival situation, you can't afford to be caught without water. Next up, let's talk about energy redundancy. And let's be clear, friends, when the lights go out and you're the only one left shining, that's a good day in the world of prepping. Imagine the sun, the grand source of life and energy. Harnessing this energy is not only possible, but also incredibly efficient with solar panels. These panels, once set up, can provide a continuous flow of energy to your home, your tools, and your life. Maintenance is key, though. Regular cleaning and periodic checks for any panel damage can ensure these sun harvesters are always at their peak performance. But what about when the sun isn't shining? Well, that's where diversification comes in. Wind and hydropower can serve as alternative renewable sources. Wind turbines, small enough for home use yet powerful enough to generate substantial energy, can be a valuable addition to your energy redundancy plan. And if you're lucky enough to have a stream or a river nearby, hydroelectric generators can turn that flowing water into flowing electricity. Now let's get into the heart of energy redundancy: backup power. Generators, my friends, are the knights in shining armor when the power grid fails. They come in various types, each with its unique pros and cons. Gasoline generators, for instance, are common and relatively affordable. Propane generators, on the other hand, are quieter and cleaner, while dual-fuel generators offer the flexibility of using either gasoline or propane. But the energy you generate needs somewhere to go, right? That's where battery storage systems come into play. These are your energy banks, storing power for when you need it the most. Lead-acid batteries are a classic choice, known for their affordability and reliability. Lithium-ion batteries, however, although pricier, offer longer lifespans and higher efficiency. Like everything else, these batteries need care too. Regular checks, appropriate charging, and proper storage conditions can ensure they're always ready to power your world. Finally, let's talk about fuel. It's the lifeblood of your generators and vehicles. Storing fuel safely is crucial. You don't want a minor accident turning into a major fire. Fuel should be stored in approved containers, in a cool and well-ventilated area, away from any living spaces. And remember, fuel doesn't stay good forever. Rotating your stock and using fuel stabilizers can significantly extend its shelf life. In the grand scheme of prepping, energy redundancy is more than just an option. It's a necessity. It's the difference between being stuck in the dark ages and living in the modern world, even when that modern world is a little worse for wear. And remember, the goal here is not just to survive, but to thrive. Energy redundancy ensures you're never left in the dark. Now let's see how these plans work in real life. Think about a situation where a major storm has knocked out power for days. Your primary energy source, solar panels, are rendered useless due to the overcast skies. This is where your redundancy plan kicks in. You've got a wind turbine that's been spinning non-stop due to the storm, and a generator fueled by the propane you've safely stored away. You've effectively turned a crisis into a minor inconvenience, all thanks to redundancy. Or imagine a scenario where your water supply gets contaminated. Thanks to your redundancy planning, you have multiple purification methods at your disposal. You can boil the water, use a chemical treatment, or employ your UV purifier. You've also got a rainwater harvesting system and a well as alternative water sources. Again, redundancy saves the day. Now, on to some practical tips for maintaining your systems. Regular testing is key to ensuring your backup systems are ready when you need them. For instance, run your generator every couple of months to ensure it's in working condition. Check the expiration dates on your stored food and rotate your stock to maintain freshness. Test your water purification methods periodically to ensure they're effective. Maintaining your systems also includes keeping them clean and safe. Clean your solar panels and wind turbines regularly to ensure optimal performance. Keep your water storage containers and purification systems clean to prevent bacterial growth. Safely store your fuel and check for leaks regularly. Next, let's talk about documentation. It's crucial to document your redundancy plan. It should detail your backup systems, maintenance schedules, and how to use and repair each system. This document is your guide, your manual to survival when things go south. But what's a plan if only one person knows about it? That's right, it's important to train your family members on the redundancy plan. Everyone in your household should know how to operate the generator, how to purify water, and how to rotate the food stock. This way, if you're not around, your family won't be left in the dark. In summary, redundancy planning is not just about having backup systems. It's about regularly testing and maintaining these systems, documenting the plan, and training your family on it. It's about being prepared for any scenario, ensuring that when one system fails, another seamlessly takes over. It's about turning potential crises into minor inconveniences and ensuring the safety and survival of your family. Remember, a plan is only as good as its implementation. Before we wrap up, let's touch on a few more areas of redundancy. Now, we've talked about food, water, and energy, but what about communication? In a crisis scenario, staying connected is vital. That's why it's crucial to have multiple communication methods at your disposal. Ham radios, for example, are a popular choice among preppers. They can communicate over long distances and don't rely on cell towers or the internet, making them a reliable option when other systems fail. CB radios, on the other hand, are great for short-range communication, and they're easy to use, making them a good choice for local communication within your community or group. Satellite phones are another consideration. They're not dependent on terrestrial networks, so they can work virtually anywhere in the world. However, they can be expensive and require a clear view of the sky to operate effectively. Regardless of the communication methods you choose, it's important to consider encryption and secure channels. In a crisis situation, you don't want your messages being intercepted or misunderstood, so learning how to encrypt your communications and use secure channels is a valuable skill to have. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about medical redundancy. In an emergency, access to medical care might be limited or non-existent. That's why it's crucial to have multiple medical kits stocked in different locations like your home, car, or bug-out bag. Each kit should contain basic first aid supplies such as bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, and essential medications. But don't forget about the more advanced supplies like sutures, splints, and tourniquets. While having medical supplies is important, they're of little use if you don't know how to use them. That's why learning advanced medical skills is a key part of redundancy planning. Courses in CPR, first aid, and wilderness medicine are widely available and can equip you with the knowledge and skills to handle a range of medical emergencies. And remember, it's not just about you. Training others in your household can create an additional layer of redundancy and ensure that someone is always ready to respond when medical issues arise. In conclusion, redundancy planning extends to every area of your life. From communication to medical supplies and skills, having backups in place can mean the difference between a minor inconvenience and a major catastrophe. So, take the time to evaluate your current plan, identify any gaps, and start building your layers of redundancy today. Remember, in the world of prepping, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. The more backups you have, the better prepared you'll be when disaster strikes. Well, that wraps up our guide on mastering redundancy planning. As we've explored today, redundancy is not just an add-on, but an essential pillar of any effective prepping strategy. It's all about ensuring you have multiple layers of backup for your critical resources, be it food, water, or energy. Now, as you go about strengthening your redundancy plans, remember, you're not alone in this journey. Our Reliable Prepper community is here to offer you more exclusive content and resources. If you're interested in diving deeper, consider joining our channel memberships. We have 3 tiers: Basic Survivalist, Advanced Prepper, and Elite Survivalist. Each tier offers progressively more in-depth content, from monthly downloadable guides to advanced training materials. Remember, the key to successful prepping is continuous learning and adaptation. So let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for watching and supporting our channel. Until next time, stay prepared.